The ruling NDA government under Nitish Kumar in Bihar achieved a resounding victory and is set to storm back to power, crossing the 200 mark in the 243-member Bihar Assembly, decimating the Mahagathbandhan and leaving them with just 35 seats. The official data showed a clean sweep for the NDA and a defeat for the RJD Congress-led alliance, whereas for the Mahagathbandhan that went to great lengths during the campaigning period, the voters of Bihar on the ground did not seem to be in favor of them. In this bulletin, we'll try and find out some of the reasons why the Mahagathbandhan had such a fallout. All political parties in the Mahagathbandhan looked united in their collective campaigning. The major factor would be the tussle among the coalition partners, especially in regard to seat sharing. Tejasvi's late visibility as the CM's phase entry in the campaign was partly because the alliance partners took time to consolidate their seat-sharing arrangements and campaign strategies, which led to a perceived lack of unified front among the opposition parties. Some internal differences and the delayed consensus on the campaign approach within the Mahagathbandhan also could have contributed to the delay in fully projecting Tejasvi as the face of change in Bihar politics. Another factor that could have disenchanted the voters on the ground would be the friendly fights that occurred amongst the coalition partners. The internal seat-sharing formula among MGP allies was a crucial weakness. Unlike the NDA's disciplined alliance, MGB seat-sharing was fraught with disagreement and resulted in multiple friendly fights where allies contested against one another. This negative coordination diluted votes, confused supporters and fractured a united opposition front. The NDA's strategy of reminding the Bihar voters of the return of Jungle Raj, a legacy left behind by the RJD Supremo Lalu Prasad Yadav, if the Mahagathbandhan returned, can be seen as a masterstroke. Jungle Raj in political definition refers to the period from 1990 to 2005 when Lalu's regime was marked by widespread lawlessness, rampant crime and systemic governance failures. During this time, Bihar witnessed a collapse in law and order with rises in kidnapping, extortion, caste-based violence and the criminalization of politics, all under the guise of empowering marginalized communities. The state's economy stagnated, infrastructure deteriorated and the infamous fodder scam further tainted Lalu's legacy, painting a picture of rampant corruption and misuse of power. Tejasvi's inability to manage internal factionalism within the RJD and cohesively control the allied parties weakened the MGP's image of discipline and readiness to govern. This displayed disunity and further alienated voters who were increasingly looking for stable and disciplined leadership. Another major factor that could have catapulted the Mahagathbandhan promise to dismay can also be attributed to the poor showing of the RJD's allies, the Congress and Vikashshil Insan Party. IP candidates lost in all contested seats, failing to bring any meaningful vote share of organizational strength. Congress, with its limited presence and weak ground-level machinery in Bihar, could not mobilize voters or consolidate anti-NDA votes effectively. This weak alliance support created significant gaps in vote transfer and alliance vote consolidation, which the NDA exploited decisively. Rahul Gandhi's vote chor, Gadi chor campaign that largely connected with the public could have misled the Congress into thinking that it would resonate on polling day, but that seems to have been just the opposite. One government job to each family, or rather a promise to provide 3 crore jobs by the Mahagathbandhan, may have sounded good to the voters of Bihar, but the lack of clarity as to how it would be given could have also confused the voters. Tejasvi's campaign was built on massive populist promises such as a government job for every household, pension schemes and reviewing the liquor ban, but he failed to back them up with a concrete execution plan. The absence of a solid blueprint for funding and implementing the job for every household promise led to voters' distrust. With the NDA now set to return to power from 2025 to 2030, the women voters that really made a difference in this year's Bihar Assembly elections will hope that Nitish Babu would go back to concentrating on governance and would also be hoping for socialist populist schemes, something which could set a precedent in all future polls to come.